maths quiz is one of the Barefoot computing programming activities, and it targets the Key Stage 2 Programmer's Study Statement to use selection in programs. The concepts covered in this activity are selection, programming, debugging, and collaborating. In this activity, pupils first write out the algorithm for a maths quiz and then implement this as a program within Scratch, such as the example shown here. The focus of this activity is that pupils learn how to use selection commands. Let's take a closer look at some of the code in this example to see what a selection command is and how it's used in the maths quiz. Here we can see pupils' code for their maths quiz is made up of a sequence of if-then selection commands. Now, selection commands such as these can be used to determine which other commands in the program are executed depending on whether or not a condition is met. In the maths quiz, the condition used within the selection commands is whether the player's answer equals the correct answer. So we can see in the first example, the player is asked the question, what do you need to add to 65 to get 100? If the answer that they give is equal to 35, then the command will be executed to say, well done, that's correct. However, if this condition isn't met and they don't give the right answer, the program will skip straight on to asking the next question, which is asking what you have to add to 56 to equal 100. Once pupils have learnt how to use the if-then selection command, they go on to learn about if-then-else selection, as shown in this example here. Using an if-then-else selection command, we can get our program to respond differently depending on whether the player has answered correctly or incorrectly before then moving on to ask the next question. So for example, we can see here for the first question the player has asked, what do you need to add to 65 to get 100? If their answer is equal to 35, then the commands in the top portion of the selection block are executed saying, well done, that's correct. But if their answer doesn't equal 35, then the commands placed in the else portion of the selection block are executed. So you can see here it says that's incorrect and it gives the correct answer. And then the program moves on to asking the next question. So let's look at an example of a pupil's maths quiz program running. When we play the maths quiz, we want to hide the code which has the right answer, so we select to view full stage. And then when the program is run, we can see we get asked a question, we have to write in the answer. If we get the answer right, it tells us, well done, that's correct. However, if we get the answer incorrect, it tells us that we got it incorrect and it tells us what the correct answer is. When you use this activity with your pupils, please make sure they save their maths quizzes, because these are used as the starting point for the Barefoot Computing Work with Variables activity, where pupils add a scoring system to their quiz.